My name is Anastasia Williams, and I'm currently taking critical thinking with Miss Gord. Um, the goal today was to write 10 biases and explain how I would try to avoid them in the future, or if they have affected my life in a negative way. Give an example, if so. So I chose 10 random biases, and I'm going to tell you about them, and I had to look down at my paper because I cannot remember all this. But the first bias is the curse of knowledge, um, meaning that when communicating that knowledge, when communicating knowledge to others, um, you ignore that the fact that the person might not have background to understanding. Um, I kind of gave an example, but it's on my part as far as it being in a negative way because it's just something simple. Example for my CNA skills. I'm a CNA too at the hospital. And I'm kind of playing victim, and I shouldn't feel bad. But when I'm training somebody, okay, I've been a CNA for like ever 5 years maybe so, and I'm a CNA too now. And basically, when I have to train somebody, I expect you to get I expect you to get it fast because it's simple. The skills you learn in CNA is the skills you do. You change somebody, you bathe somebody, you feed somebody, you ambulate somebody, you hold that person's hand, the family member's hand that you're taking care of, you treat them with respect, you you're just there for them. Um, and I just expect when I train somebody that they should get that in like 2.5 seconds in less than a week because it's common sense to me, but everybody doesn't have common sense. And some people learn slower than others, and I feel like I rush people, and I feel like that's just bad in a negative way. So in the future, when I do try to train somebody, I mean, I am a very great CNA. I love what I do. I take my job very serious because it's in the life of somebody else's hands, and I would want my family member to be treated great. And of course, I do try to train that, and I say that at the beginning, but it's just like after I say what I gotta say, and you see what I do after maybe two nights, 3 nights, because I work 12-hour shifts. It's a long time. I expect you to get it. So in my future, I'm gonna try to be more patient, and if I train somebody, I'm gonna try not to let that affect me in a negative way, or because the next person might not understand. They may not have the background to understanding, but they should. And everybody moves at their own pace, and I should understand that. Um, I need to be more mindful when it comes to the curse of the knowledge, using more clear points that I'm making to that person. I need to summarize myself really good, and I need to be positive about it, not negative, not in a negative way. Next, number 2 is in group biasing. Meaning you unfairly favor those who belong to the group. I would avoid letting this affect me by being fair, cautious, and also smart people sometimes will claim that stuff is fair when it's not. For example, I would say that this has affected me in a bad way because eventually I do want to be a nurse, and it's kind of giving me the wrong, set go. But you can't, like I said, you can't go off what somebody else does. You're your own person. So I would say nurses do give better care to one family member or one patient rather than another patient that they don't know, but a patient that they do know. Like, we're working in the hospital, I see this a lot. They show favoritism, and it really just makes me mad and affects me in a bad way because I didn't really know nurses were like that until I worked in the hospital, and they won't admit it, but they're doing it. So that has affected me in a negative way because I just see nurses as basically like, I don't know, they're showing favoritism to certain patients, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like seeing that. I feel like everybody deserves to be treated equally. So me avoiding that, I don't know how I'm gonna avoid it, but I'm gonna try to let it go out one ear through the other, and I try to treat everybody that comes in the hospital the same. So I'm gonna kind of keep that mindset and kind of keep it going. 3 is optimism biases, meaning that the mistaken belief that our chances of experiencing positive events are higher and negative events are lower. That's what our peers will experience. This affected my life in a negative way because I was speeding and texting, thinking I could do multitasking and do everything at one time, and I can't, and I cannot. Learned my lesson. I got into a wreck, and I'm okay though, but it was a while ago. I learned my lesson. I will not let this affect me in a negative way by doing what I'm supposed to do and not being hot-headed thinking I know everything when I don't know everything, because I don't know everything. Number 4 is negative biases. When you allow negative things to influence your thinking. Pain is usually is easier to remember than pleasure. I would try to let my negative thoughts not ruin me. I will always prepare for the worst, but not let it take away my joy. That's how I would try to avoid my negative thoughts. Number 5 is spotlight effect. Is a tendency to overestimate how much people notice how you look and act. I will try to avoid this by not judging a book by its cover, and making fun of someone just because you just never know what they're going through in life and what a person is going through in general at all. Just because they smile, they could be the most depressed person nowadays. You just never know. So I'm gonna try not to let that affect me in a negative way, but that is an example because you need to try to avoid that by judging a book by its cover. You don't need to do that. Don't do that. Number 6 is reactance, the tendency to do the opposite of what someone is trying to make you do. I would try to avoid this with my family because they tend to think they know everything and what's best for you, such for example careers, life. Yes, they love you, but no, they don't. I mean, they want the best for you, but they don't know what's best for you because you have to learn yourself. You have to go through obstacles, you have to go through struggles to by yourself so you can be the person that you are today. So to be more rewarding what you go through and the challenges you go through, and you don't want to do something like, oh, I want to be an accountant because my mom, or real estate agent because my parents, they grew up doing that. No, you don't want to do that because you got to make sure you want to do that, because if you get into it, you don't like it, then you're going to hate your career. Even though you're making a lot of money, you're going to hate your career, and it's going to go downhill from there because you're expected to be at a higher standard and not your standard. Number 7 is bystander effect. You do nothing, meaning that you do nothing because you presume that someone else is going to do something. I will try to avoid this by being self-aware of situations that are non-emergent or emergent situations. I don't want to just be the bystander if I don't have to be a bystander, if I can help out. I want to be that person that gets that help to whoever needs that help. Or call for help. For example, somebody passed out. Let me call for help. Let me start CPR. Let me try to save a life. I mean, I'm CPR certified, so why not try to save that life? Give them another life at life. So, yeah, I don't want to be bystander if I don't have to be bystander. I don't want to let that affect me in a negative way at all. I just feel like it can affect you in a negative way in life if you are a bystander. Because if you just stand back and you just follow the leader, or you just don't help somebody that do need help, and you're just egging it on, you're making it more worse than what it is. And you shouldn't let that affect you in your negative life, adult life. Number 8 is egocentric thinking, meaning the tendency to view everything in relation to oneself. I would try to avoid this situation in the future by not only considering myself as far as being selfish, because I'm selfish, but it is hard because you have to be able to identify the problem, and that problem is you. That problem could be shopping. That problem could be you're addicted to yourself. I mean, come on now. Who wouldn't be? But no. It's a problem within yourself that you have to figure out yourself, and you have to love yourself. You have to get on another level. You have to realize that it's not only you. So you can't let that affect your life in a negative way, because if you're always selfish, it's going to be hard for you to even open up to people, and people to even want to deal with you because you are selfish. So trying to avoid that, I've been working on the selfish part, because it has not got me far at all. So, but I was very young at the time, and I'm slowly getting out of it, but I still have a little ways to go, but I'm still there a little bit. 9 is framing biases, the tendency to be influenced by the way in which a problem is formulated or presented, even though the presentation should not affect the solution. This has affected my life in a negative way, because, for example, if my food isn't pretty on my plate, I will not eat it. I don't like my food touching. Go in a restaurant, no, don't like that. Or if a hotel looks dirty on the outside, I will not book it. I have a bad problem with that. But I mean, if you're going on vacation, but I can't let that affect me in a negative way. I think it's bad because I'm very picky and choosy, but it is how I grew up. But I gotta get out of it, because that's gonna affect me in a negative way. It can look dirty on the outside and be amazing, and inside the service can be amazing. Or if my food touch, it can still be great. If it touches, it's okay. It still be good. So I have got out of that a little bit, but I can't let it affect me negatively in my life. I gotta go out of it. Number 10, the final one, is the overconfidence effect. Is the above average effect, unreasonably assuming you're better than most people at doing something. I will try to definitely avoid this bias as far as following the rules. Also matching my skills with my objective data, and not comparing my standards to other people and other individuals, and knowing that I'm my own person, I'm on my own time, and I learn differently than other people. I can't be overconfident, or if I'm better in one subject, I don't want to be too overconfident, and that's my problem, because if I'm very good at a subject, I'm too overconfident, and I'm just beyond the standard, because I miss know-it-all, and I won't let this affect me in the future, because, I'm gonna try to avoid this in the future, because it's not a good thing. It's not a good habit to have. Being overconfident is good to be confident, but overconfident, you can mess up.